There's so much financial advice out there that it's near impossible to follow all of it. But missing the most important, and often most basic, words of wisdom could end up costing you big time. To help out, we combed through our archives to round up the best money advice from financial planners, best-selling authors, and one of the richest people in the world, that will help you save and earn the most money. Here are our top 10 money advice. 1. Pay yourself first. People still don't grasp the fact that they need to save a dime out of every dollar. Author and self-made millionaire David Bach told Business Insider in a Facebook Live interview. He said the average American who's saving money is saving just 15 minutes a day of their income, when they should be saving an hour. Bach noted troubling research from the Federal Reserve that revealed nearly half of Americans wouldn't have enough money on hand to cover a $400 emergency. Yet, he continued, millions of those people will buy a coffee at Starbucks today and expect to buy the new $800 iPhone next year. Americans have money, he says, but we aren't saving it. So get on the pay yourself first plan, as Bach calls it, and automatically save an hour a day of your income. When that money is moved before you can touch it, that's how real wealth is built, he said. 2. Beware of lifestyle creep. There's a lot of pressure in your 20s and 30s to keep up with your friends. Maybe they're buying a nicer car or a house. But if you're not in the financial position to keep up, don't try. I always refer to it as lifestyle creep because one of the big things that people can do, that's an advantage to them, is keep their fixed expenses somewhat stable and reasonable for what they make. Katie Brewer, a Dallas-based certified financial planner who founded Your Richest Life, told Business Insider. Planning for your recurring costs, like mortgage, rent, a car payment, and insurance, ensures that expenses won't creep up on you and derail your financial future. Of course, Brewer said, if you're making good money you should have the freedom to spend it how you wish, as long as your lifestyle doesn't overtake your income. In short, live below your means. 3. Invest in the stock market, just don't try to time it. No one can time the market, so know that if there is a decline, it's going to bounce back. Over time, being in the market pays off more so than staying out of it. Michael Solari, a certified financial planner with Solari Financial Planning, told Business Insider. A smart play, according to Solari, is to put your money in a low-cost target date retirement fund, sometimes known as set-it-and-forget-it investments. These diversified funds automatically adjust their asset allocation and risk exposure based on your age and retirement horizon. Early on, when the need for that money is still a couple decades away, the fund will adopt a more growth-focused strategy. As you ripen toward retirement, it dials back the risk. You may not get the average annual return of 11% in your target date fund, given you'll be invested in a blend of stocks, bonds, and alternative assets. But if you get even 6% per year, an original $10,000 investment will be worth more than $32,000 in 20 years without you having to do a single thing. Compare that with $12,200 in your high-yield savings account, or $10,020.20 in your traditional savings account. 4. Build an emergency fund. Let's face it, it's really not a matter of if you'll need to fork over cash for a car or home repair, child expense, or medical emergency, but a matter of when. No matter how well you plan or how positively you think, there are always things out of your control that can go wrong. Bach writes in his bestseller, The Automatic Millionaire. People lose their jobs, their health, their spouses. The economy can go sour, the stock market can drop, businesses can go bankrupt. Circumstances change. If there's anything you can count on, it's that life is filled with unexpected changes, he wrote. Most financial planners suggest stockpiling anywhere from 3 to 9 months' worth of expenses in an emergency fund that you can turn to when in need. If you don't have savings at the ready, you run the risk of having to rely on family or friends for help. Or worse, falling into debt. 5. Pay off your credit card balance in full every month. Sometimes a credit card can feel like free money, until you're slapped with a bill. Even then, most credit cards only require you to pay 1% to 3% of your balance each month, which can be an alluring prospect if your budget is tight. But consistently paying the minimum could cost you a fortune in the long run, damage your credit score, and affect your ability to qualify for a mortgage. Farnoosh Torabi, a financial expert, author, and host of the So Money podcast, learned this lesson the hard way. Not only did she swipe her credit card with no reservations and adopt the bad habit of paying just the minimum amount, Torabi said she once forgot to pay the bill altogether. She remembered incurring a late fee that showed up on her credit report and gave her a true wake-up call. The incident happened before she realized the power of automating her bills, a practice that can save you money on late fees and relinquish you from remembering due dates and the embarrassment of missing a payment. Number 6. Don't sit on too much savings. Saving money is important, and could be easier than it sounds. But if you're saving too much, you may be keeping yourself from building wealth. Though you're never going to kill your financial future by accumulating money, Brewer says, you're losing out on opportunity costs by having money sitting around, especially if it's sitting in an account making barely anything in interest. If you're risk averse, one way to manage savings overflow is to move your money into a high yield savings account. Or, as previously mentioned, stick it in a low-cost target date fund and see your returns balloon over time, with little to no work required. Number 7. Pay off high-interest debt first. Sally Krawcheck, a former Wall Street executive and the founder and CEO of Elvest, says paying down high-interest debt should always be prioritized, even above building an emergency fund. She explained the math in an article on Elvest. Say you have $5,000 of credit card debt at an 18% interest rate. Say you happen upon $5,000 of money. If you take some of the advice out there, and split the use of that $5,000, have to establish an emergency fund, have to pay down credit card debt, you still have $2,500 of credit card debt and $2,500 of money sitting in cash. The $2,500 of credit card debt at an 18% interest rate costs you $450 a year. The emergency fund earns almost nothing in interest, so you're out $450. Bottom line, you'll save more paying off the debt than you'd earn if you invested it, whether in a high-yield savings account or the stock market. Number 8. Track your spending. Business Insider's Libby Kane has written, edited, and read hundreds, maybe thousands, of stories about money during her career, and says she's learned that the best, most critical first step you can take to improve your finances is to track your spending. Keeping tabs on where your money is going, whether fixed expenses like rent or mortgage payments and transportation costs or discretionary spending like dining out and travel, is a crucial part of mastering your money. Setting up a spreadsheet or using a service like LearnVest or Mint can help you make cuts where necessary and even set you on a path to early retirement, if that's what you're after. Number 9. Be patient. When best-selling author and motivational speaker Tony Robbins asked billionaire Warren Buffett a few years ago, "What made you the wealthiest man in the world?" Buffett replied, 3 things: living in America for the great opportunities, having good genes so I lived a long time, and compound interest. The biggest thing about making money is time, the investor, who's now worth more than $76 billion, said in an HBO documentary about his life. You don't have to be particularly smart, you just have to be patient. In his 2017 annual letter to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders, Buffett announced that he was on his way to winning a $1 million bet he made in 2007 that his investment in an S&P 500 index fund would outperform 5 hedge funds over a decade. Number 10. Have more than one credit card. It may seem financially reckless to have a wallet full of credit cards, but it's actually smart. According to John Oltzheimer, credit expert at creditsesame.com, Having a single credit card can damage your credit score. Thanks to something called your credit utilization ratio, that is, how much of your available credit you're actually using. That percentage is very, very influential in your credit score. Explains Alzheimer. People say that you're in good shape if you keep your utilization within 50% of your available credit. Or 30%, but really, it should be below 10%. Available credit counts all the cards you have. If you have one card with an $8,000 limit and one with a $6,000 limit, your total available credit is $14,000. Even if you only spend $1,000 a month. With a single card, you have no unused credit cushioning the impact of your spending. The closer you get to your limit, the harder the hit on your credit score. That's our 10 money advice for you. Please subscribe, like for more videos, and in the comments section let us know which of the money advice is your favorite.